Hello my friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel again, Technic Navneet, and in this video we are proceeding with AI workloads and consideration, that is a part 2 of our Microsoft Certified Azure AI Fundamentals course. And again my friends, if you have missed the first part, you should go through that, and before of that I also created one video with the introduction of Azure AI Fundamentals AI 900 certification as well. So let's proceed further, but before that I'll sincerely request you to subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, share it with your friends if you have not done yet, and share it with all of your friends, colleagues, and even students who all can get benefited. And in the introduction I have already explained that this course is created in such a way that everyone can get benefited, even if you are not new to this AI Azure and these new age technologies, cloud computing also. And in my channel you will get many other content as well, even if you are planning to earn a certification. So I have given a method how you can earn the free voucher, 100% discount voucher from Microsoft for those certification, including this one, AI 900. So now we are proceeding with our actual content. So in this video we are going to talk about common AI workloads. So again, if you have gone through my previous video of Azure Data Fundamentals, there we had discussed that workload represent what kind of work. So just going by the name, work and load. So work, something need to be done, load that representing the type of work. So what kind of work in AI ML we usually do, and in this previous video we just have discussed. So AI doesn't mean this automated program or computer who is taking over humanity and taking the control of earth, or maybe something robotic which is a part of thinking of the human science, and they are taking their own decisions. So friends, those all are just for entertainment purposes. There is no such reality, and here we are going to see what is real reality. When we say AI, then what actual workload currently AI can perform. So first we have prediction and demand forecasting. Since forecasting means assuming for future in very simple terms, so using AI we will be predicting what kind of demand we will get in future. So if something A happens, then what the effect of that will happen. If I am a seller of some particular product, based on my data, my sell of last, let's say 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, using that data analysis, can a model be created which can predict just using that data. So something happening, that there is some trend, there is some break even point in the data which can really so helpful, and the computer program is able to predict, which really very near about reality. So actually how it works in normal words, it looks very useful, but how actually it works. So take an example. Let's say if I am a store owner and this is my actual data until this place. If any of the month, if 100 visitors were there to my store, and then I sold around 1125 units, then when the visitor counts was something around 200, then I found that the sales is going up to 2871, and when it was like 300, then the sales went to 3600, with so on. So it's not a fixed pattern. So even you can see here, with a 300 I sold 3600 units, while in some other day or in some other month with the 300 visitors I was able to sell around 4393. So it's not something which is like created, it is the reality, it happens. Maybe visitors are there, they are not buying, they are just coming to checking it out. Maybe some visitors are coming and they are buying multiple products, so it all happens. But can we determine something out of this? So there AI can help us. So what is happening, let's create a sales versus visitor chart, and let's put the points of all this data. So just I'm giving a very baseline example, so how you can think like how actually AI work, this workload on AI, how it can be handled. So let's mark. So we have been learning this from our schools. In plus 2 also we learned this method by creating the charts, and also we are doing it from our school days. So let's create a chart, sales versus visitors, put visitors on the horizontal line and sales on the vertical line, and let's just keep the just mark the points against the visitor count against the sales. So once done, forget about this one. So this one is something we are going to predict. Oh sorry, so this is representing the 900, the actual. So this is not something which is assumpted as of now, this is the real data. So now let me create a straight line, and let's try this a straight line cut most of the point. So is with this a straight line, we are saying it is cutting 4 points and 2 are very nearby while 1 is too much away. So if we create something like that, that will also cut 3 or 4, but this one will become, if you will just assume if you are creating a line like that, the difference will be a lot. So based on that, this can be the better a straight line which can represent all these cells, all these points. So now we can do some assumption. So in any day, based on this trend, we can say if any other day, if 600 visitors are coming to my shop, the sales unit would be near about 7500. Similarly, if 800 are coming, I would sell, maybe it's lower than 10,000, let's say 9500. So based on that we can predict, and that can be little near to the actual count. So this kind of workload, when we are expecting AI to create some kind of prediction and demand forecasting based on some logic, that we call it as a prediction and demand forecasting. So how it work? So similarly, I have already explained, just I have written for the understanding. So give the machine all the relevant data you know. So actually first you are giving the data, and this data you have obtained from your real cells, and then for which field you want to predict. Of course you need to ask and just predict me the sales. So you are giving your visitor counts. Here in this table you can see I am asking what about if 386 visitors are coming in a particular day, what will happen when 362 visitors will be there, what will happen when 121 visitors will be coming to checking out in my stores, then what would be the expected sales orders. And of course the way we discussed like how it work, you need to develop a model based on your training data and evaluation, which can actually make a prediction. So common predictions, if we think about in the real world example, or maybe like how it is being used right now over different internet services. So you must be seeing this example. However, I have taken this image from the internet itself. Thank you very much, the contributor. So if you type on your any of like a Google or Bing or any other search engine, just start typing with some of the lines like how much would, so it gives you the some of the suggestions. So instead of typing the whole sentence, you can directly press your arrow down button, or you can click any of this one, and you can get the search result immediately without writing that. So it saves a lot of effort to you, and also it create a very good impression. A kind of people loves working in similar similar way. So from where it is coming? So this is the actual search made by multiple people. And Google, if you talk about the Google or Microsoft Bing, so they have written a very complex, algorithm behind of that. So if some news is floating around, around like something new, like NASA is sending a new rocket to moon, so people are started learning about moon, and now they are checking like how much I would wait on the moon. Then Mars, there was a time China was sending satellite to Mars, India was sending satellite to Mars, rovers and all. So at that time it was a curiosity. Based on this search result on a particular region and the user age group and his uh, earlier activities, they have created an algorithm. Based on that, uh, they are just giving you these options to help you out. So similarly, I have taken another example of Netflix. So again, it's not mine, but just I have taken an example from internet, just the complete image. So there they are giving a suggestion. So because you have watched some movie, it is giving you a the content of the related movie and the web series. So these are the actual real time example of prediction what I'm explaining right now. Then some shopping cart, and also if you have bought some kind of books, they are start giving you a similar suggestions for other books. Also it is like for the this is applicable for all kind of product. I must say you all are experiencing it while checking out this online marketplaces like Amazon, and also you just do a search, it will keeps sending you the further suggestions of related products until you really buy that. And even you buy once, and it is like a consumable product or some eatable products, it will be keep sending you reminders after, let's say, 30 days, 20 days, 25 days and all. So these all are the real life examples of AI, of prediction and demand forecasting. So next workload we will talk about, that's the anomaly detection. So what is anomaly detection? From the name itself, anomaly is something which is uh, something different in the present scenario. So if we go in the definition, it's a process in machine learning that identifies data points, event observations that deviate from a data set's normal behavior. So something which is normal, and is there anything which is really not normal, where we can see some deviation from the actual regular event type, that we will call it as a anomaly. So what actually happened? So in data fundamentals course, if you remember, we had a key value kind of storage, where the data used to be stored in 1 0 1 0 0 0 1 kind of thing. So actually that what it was, the 1 was representing something, 0 was representing opposite. So let's say there is a sensor installed. However, I'm talking the older technology. If there is any sensor, and if it is supposed to store the data, if it is supposed to send you the actual temperature, and the temperature is planned to be maintained below 20 degree, and if sensor is keep receiving the temperature above 20 degree, so that will store the data as a 0 0 0 in a key value type of storage, and it gives the alarm to the technician. So you can say this is a like advanced version. Here we are using the AI. So here also we are storing the data for this example, and we are creating some algorithm in the back end, and this algorithm can be used like taken from any normal mathematical formulas and all that we used to learn in our school days. Based on those formulas, just a algorithm is created which is actually transforming the incoming actual data in some kind of this format. And when something happening abnormal, it creates kind of buzz to the people, or maybe you can get an email notification or something. So those are the further programming, there's nothing to do about AI. Those are the further attachments, how you need to work upon your anomaly that you detected, but I am just talking about when you actually detect the anomaly. So this is the first image was a very simple one. Let's have some complex. So you can see some data there. I don't know, I have taken it from internet again. So these are some kind of number, maybe it is a sales number or something representing on area wise or something. So there is a some kind of pattern continuously happening, and at some place we can see some deviation with the actual pattern, so that we can identify using AI. So even if this is very complex, let's have another example. So here you can see this deviation is this is the regular data we have here, and at one place, let's say 322, maybe it is representing 22nd March, this was deviated a lot than the normal one. Even this is the bigger than this line, but still the trend is very much similar. But here you can see this trend is actually completely deviated. So this is like kind of anomaly. So how anomaly we are detecting? So in our previous example, the data was very simple, just in the row and column basis, sales versus visitors. But what if the data source, the data is coming in very complex method, multiple data sources are there, and the logic to derive it is manually is near about impossible. But we can create some algorithm which can, and this algorithm is based on again the normal mathematical formulas, and from there we can see we are able to create some kind of graph, and from there again we will be just creating out the deviation point, and from there we can say this was the anomaly which we are actually detecting. So this is part of anomaly detection, one of the workload which is really vastly being used all across the world. So next we'll go with the computer vision. So this is something like a very some the talk of market that we can say. However, this the actual uh, application is very limited nowadays. We will get some such product from like Google Play Store or maybe other Play Stores, Microsoft Play Store, but those are still very limited. So what actually happened again? Thanks, like I have taken it from internet again. So there is an image, and this AI program is actually identifying what is happening in this image. So you can see some gentleman is swimming, and the computer vision is able to capture the face, and not just the face, but it's creating a metadata is the reference data of this one. So it is giving the tags as a water is created in a JSON format. So water, swimming, sport, I'm not very sure if it is a JSON, but looks like that, sorry for that. But what I'm trying to say, from this data itself you can say it's created a metadata where everything is detected: water, swimming, sport. Like he might be a swimmer who is doing it for getting some medal for his country, or it can be a swimming pool, some person, of course is a man. Then ocean, because of the blue sky. I don't know how it is how it is detecting bird, but some kind of metadata is created, and based on that it is able to identify the face at least. So if you see like if you are like active on the Facebook, so if you tag nowadays, if you upload some image, it is able to identify the people from your friend list. So this computer vision is still it is in application, but in very limited, like a lot of development is still left for this kind of workload. So just another example, like you have some kind of computer vision which is able to identify each and every single object from an image, or on a live basis, like someone is riding a bicycle, some person is just moving around, some cars are there, some building, maybe those are not a part here, but it can identify like what kind of things it is. So now if you are getting a doubt how it is a artificial intelligence, so it is artificial intelligence because you can identify if you are seeing a car, if you are seeing someone riding a bicycle, your intelligence, your mind is saying that. But if computer need to do, then it requires some kind human kind of intelligence. So again, so that is why we will call it as a AI. Like the computer vision is AI. So next we will talk about NLP. NLP, I would say it's very in demand. Now it's globalization everywhere. Companies are moving from one country to another. They are doing businesses online. And now to grab the market, where let's say take an example of India, so the English speaking people are still very less in terms of population. To grab the market of those people who are not very comfortable in English, it's like important companies to start their services in the uh, local languages. And in that case, this natural language processings are very important, and it is not just related, just I have given an example. It is also to identify the key phrase. And on Microsoft also, the NLP is very important. They have given very good services for that. And that again, my friends, that's a very, we will discuss in very detail in upcoming videos, like how many kinds of NLP Microsoft actually provide you in terms of services. But for just example, like if you are seeing a line, what time are you open until today? So it is identifying the keywords, and keep from this keyword itself, it will be able to give you. So it's kind of key phrase extraction. When do you close? So close, like something, the question arises. So when means it is asking you, someone is asking you. Similarly, it is just extracting key phrase from the statements. And it's not just you have to write, like you have to provide some lines or something. Now it is very advanced. Even Microsoft has very good services, the advanced services. And you can ingest your data content from blob storages, tables, SQL databases, Cosmos DB is Microsoft Azure, or semi structured database services, then PDF, images, Word documents. And using the AI tool, just as the image classification, face recognition, language detection, key phrase extraction to create searchable index, you can use these services by taking data from this one, and we call it as a knowledge mining cognitive search. So these are some additional feature, like the uh, next version of NLP. But it's not like being developed or something, it is already developed. However, improvements are coming day by day in terms of upgrades. But these services are now available, and Microsoft has very good services regarding this NLP. And last, we will talk about conversational AI chatbots. So this is like, again, however, I think I am just repeating the same line. This is very normal, very in demand across the world. But again, you can understand, so from every app, from every service, even to book a restaurant, the table in a restaurant, now you are seeing a chatbot is there. So earlier you had to call someone to place an order, but now AI related applications are coming. You will be talking to some AI bot who will be actually identifying your question from their sentiment. They will be doing sentiment analysis, and based on that they gives you answers. However, those answers are predefined, but those are very useful and very quick as well. So like if you have an online cloth selling application, you can create a chatbot where user can ask, hey, do you have a Levi's 501 jeans in stock, and chatbot can ask in what size. So next, even just you just think, if someone is asking you as a, if you are a store owner, and a customer is coming and asking, so first question what you will ask, so what size you need, post that I can confirm, do I have that product or not. So user will give some answer, then chatbot will reply. If user is like interested in it, so he will be asking the further questions. And when something is going beyond a chatbot, so I even I today I was complaining something to Amazon. So when I started the chat, it was started with some chatbot who first gave me a list of products, so from which, regarding which product you want to file a complaint. When I gave, again it gave me some predefined remediations. If my problem is not listed there, it redirected to me a real uh, person or some support analyst. So before that, the basic questions that the support analyst was supposed to ask me, which could have taken his like 5 minutes or 2 minutes, but those were already taken. The information was already there with him, like what is my account number, what is my problem, and at least with the which product. So these are like very useful as well, not just it is for fashion. So this was the last topic of this workload video. So we were talking about the AI workload. So workload, again we just talked what kind of AI services that we can get, it is being used, and the services are available even on Microsoft is like leading right now in providing these services. So before closing the video, again a humble request, kindly subscribe my channel and share it with your everyone. It is, my friends, is really very needed to keep creating such content. Thank you.